You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons and Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 386, Dog and Pony Show Season 6, Episode 9, recorded April 2022, posted February 2023. Die, foul friendly creature!
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, Dungeon Master for the Dog and Pony Show. That's right, we are back in Ravenloft. Things are chock full of secret passageways. Things are spooky and weird. There's lots of arguing about whether we should go up or down, or which of the many doors we should go through. It's exactly what you want and need from Dungeons and Dragons, or, at the very least, what you're listening to at this moment. Allow me to introduce our players. They will introduce their characters. I will attempt to remember what's happening in this adventure, and then we'll play Dungeons and Dragons. First up, it's Erica Ansai. Hi, Erica.
Hello, I play Brildish, the Dwarven Paladin. Her pronouns, like mine, are she, her. And Brildish's celestial pony, Pony Cindelarnt, uses he, him pronouns.
Next up, it's Aline Sims. Aline, how's it going?
I'm just looking forward to arguing with you all about everything. I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger, and we both use she, her pronouns.
My favorite Jane, it's Jane Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Tony. I play Lena Dulina, the human rogue, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Next up, Micah Sargent. Welcome back, Micah.
Oh, hey, I play Elevor Landman, the half-elf druid, as well as Samus, the saber-toothed tiger. And I would like to note that Danu, the fey octopus that Elevor can summon as a familiar, can breathe out of the water for 30 minutes. So could be walking on land if she wanted to. Samus and Danu, use she, her pronouns. Elevor and I both go by he, him.
And last but certainly not least, Dan Morin. Hi, Dan.
Hello. I am playing Castor Onatar's Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onatar. Crucible's pronouns are they, them. My pronouns are he, him. We're all just here for the ride.
Mm-hmm. So our adventures are deep in Ravenloft. I think specifically you're basically kind of in some secret back hallways at this point, where you found some hidden staircases. You are on the opposite side of the secret passages that access this back entryway, and you have found a strange room. Remind me if I get this incorrectly, but I think possibly Lena Delita has kind of scouted this room silently. Mm-hmm. There seems to be basically, I don't know, maybe some kind of dormitory or sleeping quarters, several beds, and there is several. There is a woman moving around. It seems to be kind of dusting and tidying that room. And I believe someone used magic to sense her nature already. Perhaps detect good and evil.
And what did you figure out? I forgot.
Yeah, it was
divine sense.
Yes, I used my divine sense. And was like, yep, she's a vampire. Vampire spawn thrall, whatever that is, the terminology. Brildish doesn't know the terminology. She just knows it's something that she's going to kill.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I think you were having some discussions of different ways you might charm, murder, befriend, incapacitate, etc.
Brildish says, Pony wanted to remind us that weird spooky shadow creature that ran down the stairs. Tony, did that creature run down these stairs or a different set of stairs? I thought you had said it was these ones.
Set of stairs.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe there was like a central set of stairs.
Okay.
Not this one. There are, I will tell you again, the architecture of is maddening of Ravenloft in terms of so many ways to get up and down. Yeah, and it's like, why? Who needs this?
Strahd needs this.
A vampire named Strahd.
Does he? I think he can fly. So
I think emotionally he needs this.
Yeah.
I think that
he is an emotional cul-de-sac.
Is it like the Winchester house where you just kind of like built
weird stairways?
There's some
nowhere.
of that. I think there is certainly an aspect of there's like the main stairs versus the servant stairs. But then also the secret stairs, and then also the spooky tower stairs. And it's just like, we get it. You had money to burn. Okay.
If he builds enough, he'll fill the hole in his soul.
He's a one-man
That is our
staring
hope.
Yeah.
contest.
Honestly, like liking stairs is his least problematic trait. So maybe we let this one go.
You can have this one, Strahd.
Focus on some of the other murdery
I don't know if
traits.
I don't know if your characters are aware of the history of Ravenloft and whether Ravenloft was constructed pre or post Vampirist. So
The problem with
All right.
being
It has
obsessed with
windows.
stairs is that it really has its ups and downs.
I'm assuming it
no.
predates vampirism on account of it has a ton of windows, but
yeah, it's got a lot of windows.
you know, he's also a weird guy.
That's just
so,
logic. Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I believe
A lot of natural light.
the situation where we found ourselves was we know it's a vampire. Some of us want to kill the vampire. Some of us want to question and then kill the vampire.
Some of us want to flip
There
all.
doesn't appear to be anyone who
pris-
doesn't want to kill the vampire.
The Prisoner's Dilemma. I'm familiar with it.
Indeed.
Yes. So here's the thing. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jane, you weren't finished. Please continue.
Oh, the only thing that I was going to say is we also don't want to risk the vampire alerting other potential people on the floor. So that is playing into our arithmetic somewhat.
Yes, and you may remember that I had talked about doing a little charmy charm to sort of facilitate this. The benefit of striking off on your own campaign as a DM is that you have to read rules. And
Is there any
Is that a
any
benefit?
That is
I
the
have-
one
I
benefit.
have not found these benefits yet.
the single
so-
benefit, and that single benefit provided me with some knowledge that
You read your own character sheet. That is the benefit of being a dungeon master, Michael.
that charm person requires a humanoid, and if it's cast on a non-humanoid like a vampire, it will not work. So I don't know if Tony knew that and he was going to let me cast charm person and then watch it not work, or if a vampire thrall is still a humanoid, or
A vampire spawn is definitely a humanoid.
vampire spawn is still a humanoid.
They're not
Yeah.
undead?
Is undead not count as humanoid?
Technically,
I've been using a
I was gonna
very-
say, yeah.
So I
It's a
read
I've been
little
using a
weird.
very all-encompassing definition of.
I
Yeah,
read this
I
on
don't
D&D
think-
Beyond specifically, like in the
Yeah.
rule book, it was talking about charm person specifically, and it was like sometimes a player might use a spell, and that's how they learn more about a creature, like that a vampire is not a humanoid. And so it was like,
But this is
Really?
not a
Just the vampires.
vampire.
Right,
A
it's
vampire
vampire
has
thrall.
the undead
It's
creature
true.
type, not the humanoid type, so isn't affected by
Yep.
the hold person spell.
Yep. So I think
Mighty
there's
whole
the idea
monster.
of humanoid as an adjective that is very good at describing a lot of the entities in Dungeons and Dragons, and then
The
there's
keyword.
like the creature type, which is basically like damage type in Pokemon. like it's really, there's like ghost and psychic, and you're like, what is the difference here? But we gotta acknowledge that one is not the other.
yeah. So basically, I should not cast charm person because it will fail.
And
so
you already
I'll
know
avoid.
that it's a vampire, so theoretically casting it when failing
Yeah.
would let you know that this person's not a
So,
human.
I
but
That's
you
no
don't
new
do that.
information.
I believe one suggestion I made was Crucible could cast Silence, which would allow us to potentially sneak up on them and keep them from alerting anybody. It will prevent us from casting other spells in that radius. Another option being I do have Turn Undead, which wouldn't prevent them from alerting people, but would make them basically run away and not try to attack us.
I like the idea of doing the silence spell. That way, even if we wanted to just get into like a good old fashioned scrap, we could. I think the main thing is that a lot of the time, so Lena can put out a lot of DPS, but I don't know if I can do non-lethal sneak attack damage.
Well,
So-
you could. I mean, if we silence the room and Lena sneaks up and just like blade across the neck and is
See, I think that would be an intimidation check, though. And Lena, weirdly, is not as good at being intimidated as she is.
I'm intimidated by her.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Have we rolled initiative yet? Like,
You're not in
should
battle
we-
yet, so I mean there may not be a fight. Whatever will move you along faster.
And in
though.
fact, we
Or
can
we
call
could just wander in and be like, yo, sup?
No, because if she screens them, everyone else could know.
Who else, though? We don't even know if there are other
Yeah.
rooms around here
It
yet.
could be a PA system. I can cast Silence probably without her even knowing that it's been
She does.
cast,
She is
right? And we just
Elevor, in case it's sorry, not Elevor. Crucible, in case it's important. She is actively humming to herself. I don't know if silence would betray that.
Okay,
which
that would
is just something I decided that she was
tweak to
doing,
it
but I
pretty
guess
quick.
is maybe a thing that all people should be doing, just so you know if silence has been cast on you. But she's walking
other
around the
thing that we
chambers,
could do-
dusting, going.
Do we want to just kill
We
her?
could also just kill her.
Let's
like
just
we don't
kill
know
her.
for sure that she has good information. She's like dusting. Like
Okay,
I don't know.
here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's go in. Let's interrogate. If it looks like a problem, I will cast silence. Probably before she can make a sufficient alarm.
That's a good idea. Just basically have silence ready.
Yeah, I'm basically going to have it ready to cast.
Oh.
It's an action to cast, right? So it's not
Lena dissents, but acknowledges that that's fine.
yeah, it's an
Yeah,
action to
that's-
cast. It will be basically instantaneous. So,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Let's do the
All right,
thing.
everyone agrees they should go
Slowly-
in. No one has stepped in the room yet.
Elevor and Crucible should both go in because Elevor is literally charming.
You have to
and
leave your
figuratively
entourage
charming,
of horses and pony and dogs and assassins and corpse brides in the hall.
Okay.
One dog.
So Crucible first.
I'm not going to be quiet because I'm not
Clank,
very stealthy.
clank,
so
clank.
I'm just going to
No.
walk in and sort of.
And we should.
friendly
Elvor
greeting.
starts making
It's all
small talk
happened.
about
It's all-
that.
This is just
happening.
like you all planned.
Elevor goes,
The
oh,
woman,
these beds are so impeccably well made.
Lena twitches in
the
rogue.
woman swirls around and stares at you with wide eyes and looks shocked to see a robot man and a dwarven warrior and others in the sleeping quarters that she's cleaning. Yeah.
I'm just around the corner.
Who are you?
Hello. We are just guests of Mr. Strahd.
Her bed inspectors.
Roll bluff.
We are
That's
guests.
not even a lie.
It's
We
just
are
the wrong
guests.
campaign.
I'm not saying. I did not say bed inspectors, Tony. To be clear, all I said was we are
I
guests
think
of
he kicked
Mr.
you out
Strahd.
several hours ago. All right. Roll it.
Okay.
Does
but
that
she know
revoke
that?
guest status?
All right.
Roll
I'm
it.
rolling deception.
You
'cause
can
there's
roll
no
it
bluff.
with advantage because I think Elevor
Yay!
is because
Elevor
Elevor is
believes it.
confused.
I did believe. Okay. There's one. I know those were pretty bad rolls there with an 11.
I did not know there were any other additional guests. I would have been assigned to prepare quarters. What are you doing back here?
Yes. We were actually can I ask you something please?
I am thinking yes.
I was wondering if maybe you had some extra towels?
I can get that. Would you like me to fetch you some towels? Please. Wait here. I will go.
Oh no, before you do, it is clear that you are responsible for the impeccably well-dressed rooms. Yes, I said well-dressed because the beds are dressed well.
This is true. Yes.
And I just want to take a moment to sort of appreciate what you've done, your work, and I've always been told that anytime you stay at a place, you should always show your appreciation to the folks who are doing the real work there.
I am
And
feeling
so-
appreciated. I am the scene. Thank you.
May I ask your name?
I am Helga.
Helga, and Elevor pulls open his pouch on his cloak and looks at, oh no, that's the scat pouch. Here we go. Jingles out a few of these Strahd coins, let's say 5 of
Okay.
these Strahd coins, and hands them over to Helga.
I just like Lena was like, let's kill her, and Elivor's like, let's tip her.
Well, very
Lena
generously,
was like,
apparently.
"You're not gonna let me kill her, are you? You're gonna like her. You're gonna give her a name."
You did call it. You did call it.
You absolutely did.
Or
Yeah, I
Lena
assume that
called it.
Lena's just having like a small meltdown outside the door.
Brodish is just sort of like patting Lena on the shoulder
Helga-
very gently. Like,
And Lena's like, "We're still
Helga
gonna
kind
kill
of
her."
snatches the coins out of your palm, Elivor. You can't help but notice that her hands are kind of, when does a finger become a talon? But they are
right,
like they're
right
on
there,
that
right then.
continuum from finger to talon. They're yeah, and even though she just barely touches the palm of your hand, like it gives you just like a little cold shiver, as if this person is.
Crucible's gonna interpose for a moment and say, as we are guests in this castle, we were hoping perhaps you, as someone who knows the castle well, might be able to direct us to a few specific locations.
Oh, right, the game. I forgot about that.
Helga would be happy to be of service. What
This
are
is
you
not
looking
just
for?
make friends with NPCs, Micah.
I hope she knows the password too.
Yeah, does anyone remember? What are you
Hi,
looking
we're
for?
guests of Mr. Strahd.
I've
Can you tell
forgotten.
us the password to his secret vault
Ask
that we're
about
not
the
supposed to
dragon
know
head.
about?
That's the last question. The dragon head. What else is there?
The downstairs place where we can get
We
the
need
treasure.
the thing of wine, don't we? Or where the cask of wine is?
Where there used to be wine, but
Maybe
not a
used-
drop remains.
Okay,
let
so
me look
we
it
might
up.
want to
we
know
where
if there's a back door
we know where
to the.
the chapel
chapel?
is, right? Because we're pretty sure that's on the first
We're pretty
floor.
sure we know where that is.
So we need to know where the old where wine might have been kept, and then where I should remember these, but I don't have my notes up.
I'm looking back.
We've only been looking for them for like 2 years.
That's the problem.
And what 2 years they have been.
I hope my next friends are much better than you guys.
For people listening to this in the future, it's 2022 and time has passed in some fashion.
Has it?
Hope things are better where you are. When you are.
You were, I believe, looking for a dragon skull. You are interested in where wine might be stored. I am not sure what other things you care about in life.
There was the thing about where he sleeps.
Yeah, you were
right?
given a riddle about that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I remember.
where is Roll20? There it is.
Ah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so
Start
We
with the
saw the
dragon head.
village.
That's like
so
that's an easy thing to
Yes,
ask
we-
about.
we had heard that there was somewhere along the grounds a dragon head or skull.
And I bet you keep it impeccably well dusted.
I'm sure it's very clean.
Oh, yes. You have not yet seen the Hall of Bones. It's in the basement.
Oh no, we are most interested. Thank you. That
The
will
Hall of
the
Bones,
Hall of
yes!
Bones.
Hall of
Yes.
Yes. In the
Yes.
basement.
Hmm.
It
Hall
is,
of Bones, yeah.
near the larders and the kitchens. Very impressive.
And there
So many
got
bones.
and is there a place where perhaps wine might once have been kept?
Oh, probably near there. There is a the wine cellar. Just down
Okay.
down the hall from the Hall of Bones, in fact.
Is it, what's it called? The Hall of
No, it
Grapes?
is just a wine cellar. It does not have a name.
Oh, that's too
Okay,
bad.
all right.
If you had to give it a name, what
I
would
am
you call it?
thinking
We're still
Hall
killing
of
her.
Barrels. It is still full of barrels.
I love it. Hall of Barrels. Got that down.
And then there was a reference to
It is still fun to be part of your process.
there was a reference to a in the guidebook.
Brochure.
We picked it up at the hotel, like.
Are you all here on a
Did you
timeshare?
not see the?
We've got a writer friend and a little quirky, but likes to write about a lot of different things and shared some sights to see while we're here at
I
the
am
castle. So
not sure how Lord Strahd would feel about a brochure, but continue, yes.
we will be sure not to mention it to
A
him.
reference to a brother of light.
Oh. We are not supposed to talk about Sergei.
Oh, okay. I've got an idea. What if we give that person another name? So it can be like a nickname between us. Let's think of one together. On the count of 3, you tell me the nickname and I will tell you the nickname. And if we're thinking the same thing, then awesome. And if we're not, we'll go with yours.
Sounds
How does
fun.
that sound? Okay, ready? 1, 2,
Not
3.
Sergey.
Spaghetti. Oh, I like yours. Yeah. So, not Sergey. If we were to try to find sort of not Sergey, where would we look? Or
Well,
not look?
His tomb is in the crypt. The master visits often.
Oh,
Is
so
the
Strahd's sort
crypt
of there a lot.
In
Okay.
the basement.
It is below the basement.
Oh, below the basement. All right.
I'm thinking if you are
Going
guests,
down, everyone.
it is best you not visit there unaccompanied by the master. It is not safe.
Oh, fair enough.
What kind of threat might it pose?
Oh, people get lost there all the time.
Oh, is it sort of one of those maze-like crypts? I don't know why I'm still whispering. You're not whispering anymore. I should probably
He's okay.
stop.
Also, there are lots of bats. It is not as well kept as the upper levels. She looks around proudly. It is very spotless.
Aw.
You know, this is one of the nicer rooms in the horrible, evil haunted castle you've seen yet.
Elevor puts his hand on her shoulder and says, I'm sure if Strahd ever assigned you to the crypt, it would be spotless. You've done such
He
a
has
great job.
threatened to do this many times.
Oh, you wouldn't want that. Understood.
No.
Well,
So much guano.
Are you Helga, if I may ask, I apologize if this is presumptuous. Are you happy in your work here? Sorry, Lena.
so sorry. I'm seeing Jane.
Yes.
Not for
Okay.
long.
Would you say that you have any unfinished business?
No.
Do you need us to clean out any
If
rats
you
in this
had to leave
basement?
a message for someone, what would it say? Just
Oh,
hypothetically.
that's where you're going with this.
Have I ever mentioned my strange medical condition where my heart is on the other side of my body? No. I would like to visit my father back in Vallaki someday.
Helga,
Tony,
can I ask
did
you
we
an,
ever find out if there's any way to cure? There's no way to cure vampirism, right?
It's not how it works.
It's not reversible.
What if it's
I
a
mean,
thrall, though?
Lena has a way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like, don't you worry.
Forceful cure.
What if it's a thrall?
I just feel bad about
This
everything.
is, to be clear, this is a vampire spawn. This is
Oh,
you are
spawn.
talking to an undead creature. There is no blood in her anymore, aside from that which she briefly consumes. Her organs are not.
Quick
pumping.
question, Tony. Why is
She-
why is she so
gray.
nice?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's on you.
She was-
That's not on us. That's on you.
She was pretty excited about the Hall of Bones. So many
Yeah.
bones. Like, yeah, that's nice.
mean, it
That's
must
pretty
be
nice.
impressive
Roldish isn't
number.
jazzed
Yeah,
about the Hall of
come on.
Bones.
I
though.
mean,
Come on.
what do
I just-
archaeologists, anthropologists, like
I don't
You
care
know.
that much about the bones. It's the stone walls behind them that I'm more excited
This
about.
is technically what she looks like.
Oh,
though I
well,
imagine
now
she
you
has a-
lead with that. Come on.
I imagine she has a different outfit. But
Tony,
you know,
I want to. I'm
It
just
has a
putting
little
this.
apron.
I'm
little
gonna,
hat.
for our viewers,
Yeah,
I'm going to
let's
put this
show the
next to
chat.
the token that that Tony put on the board here, and say if you met these two people in a darkened room.
oh, do we just judge people by appearance now, Dan?
I
Is that what
know,
we do?
like, come on.
If they
When
have,
they have
glowing
glowing
red eyes.
Slavering jaws.
She can
yes,
act
that's-
great.
Mrs.
skin.
Potts, she's still a vampire.
I just decided that she would. I mean,
I
maybe
kind of dig it,
Wait.
Tony. No
Crucible.
one's-
Is this what you need here? Maybe all this is an act just to get at your next. I don't know. What do you?
Maybe what if she only gets blood from like butcher shops?
Yeah, she
Like-
could be one of those.
Fine, ask her what her last meal was.
She She lives in Ravenloft. The nearest butcher shop is several days' travel, just to be 100% clear.
Just a quick question. Do we think that she's distracted enough that I might get advantage on her?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it is also, I'm just going to say, I assume that you were more or less blocking the doors. She did look for the opportunity to go and fetch you towels.
100%.
You sidetrack that.
Yeah.
And I suspect that while all of this has been happening, Lena has just been slowly circle strafing her.
Yep.
And is now, in her blind spot.
Helga,
Lena?
one last question.
Lena?
If you had to go, how would you
I just
choose
want to
it?
know if there's
Just
anything in the
one last
beds.
question.
That's all. Is there anything under the beds? Because I really
beds
don't want to undo
are
the work that
immaculate.
she's done. Yeah. So
The beds are immaculate, I am thinking.
They're not though, right? They're like super dusty, aren't they?
No, they're dusted.
Dusted. Okay.
She is
Just
dusted.
the picture has cobwebs everywhere, so I was
Well, we know
Well-
that pictures are not to be trusted. We've learned this.
clearly, yeah, okay,
Helga.
you're right. Fair.
all right.
I mean, I will say the lace that's hanging around the canopy beds is quite old, and it's kind of like, but yeah, no. It is, the room, it's full of 8 canopied beds. There's nice little oil lamps. The walls are oak paneled. Yeah, the map looks a little bit more stone than I think this would get. And Helga is there. Lena, Helga also has a necklace that looks valuable. And at least 5 coins.
So while they discuss this, Lena has rolled to attack, but it was only a 2, so it's only a 13. I think she's a little bit off her game.
All right. Helga kind of seems to, perhaps with supernatural senses, sidesteps your attempt to impale her from behind.
I was just testing
And
your reflexes, says Lena.
Helga flings herself to the ceiling where she is clinging, rotates her head, and stares down at you all with her now glowing red eyes and hisses. So this is happening.
So we're rolling initiative? Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
So-
I guess if you are in the room, you should roll initiative. I will point out Helga is a single vampire spawn. This isn't going to take too long.
I was waiting in the doorway, expecting this to happen, because I was right there with Lena.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I was right behind them.
I mean, I think basically all of you are going to get to be involved in this. Your companions, maybe not.
I don't know how Imra feels about this, but Aline has very conflicted feelings.
All right. Well, let's see. The important thing here is that Helga has rolled an 11 on initiative. So the question is, who gets to go before Helga? Helga
Most
is
of us.
currently clinging to the ceiling, but it's not a big room. I think she's in melee range for all of you. It looks like I see Imra with a 17, Elvor with a 17, Samus with a 14, Broldus with a 12. Crucible is perhaps a little bit caught by surprise by this sudden turn of conversation. Lena, what'd you roll?
17.
Wow. All right. Imra, I think you get to go. You get to choose to go first. I know you feel conflicted.
Okay. Okay. This is about the character, not the player. All right. So, gray skin, glowing red eyes,
Eats babies.
rotated
You have not
head.
seen her.
We
either.
don't
Not
know.
evidence.
Like, there is
Assumes facts, not evidence.
Immaculate.
Would
House-
absolutely eat a baby if there was one handy.
I mean, only it depends how it's prepared.
If offered a baby, yes, she would eat. it.
Okay. All
Eats
right.
puppies.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
all
over
right,
now.
well, yeah, yep.
Wait, okay.
That's it.
I know that just taught something about both of us. I'm sorry.
Micah Sargent, that's accurate to who you are. Don't let anyone change you.
Crit.
So,
All right.
Crit.
Imra is not conflicted.
Imra is not
Imra's
conflicted.
not conflicted.
Aline is conflicted, but Imra knocks an arrow and fires it at the ceiling. How'd that go, Imra?
All right, so 2d8 plus 4, that gives me 48 plus 4, correct?
48.
48 plus 4.
Yeah.
Where are my d8s? 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll. Oh, that's really anticlimactic. 16, but I do get my second shot.
All right.
21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And this is 8 points of damage that time.
All right, 2 arrows fly across the room, hitting the vampire. Helga hisses as gross black vampire blood drips out of her from the arrow holes. She looks, I would say, not happy about this situation. Elevor, I see you. Elevor, I see you as next. Lena, you'll be right after that.
You do see Elevor as next, but Elevor...
So Helga is in your immediate vicinity, but clinging to the ceiling.
Yeah, Elevor is readying an action because
All right.
he can't attack unless he sees the other creature attack first, because he had a great conversation, which is exactly what Lena predicted, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but that's exactly what happened.
And friends, this is an important lesson about life. This is why I try to have great conversations with every stranger I meet, so that they won't murder me. That's not
And
true. I'm an introvert. I would rather be murdered.
Upon
to save all of us some time and just kill me and roll me into a ditch. I don't want to talk to you.
Upon Helga attacking one of my companions, Elevor will create bonfire right up in her face.
Okay, that is an interesting choice to do in a small enclosed bedroom.
Yeah,
But
full of canopy beds?
But she's up on the ceiling, and it's only a 5-foot cube of fire.
Can you create a bonfire in the ceiling? Anyway, we'll find out what happens when that triggers.
60
Lena.
feet.
All right, Lena.
All right.
I just want to point out that this room has no windows, so when it's on fire, it's going to be really hard to
It's not going to catch fire. She's on
We
the
don't
ceiling.
want to ventilate.
Oh,
We can put the flames out more easily if we just
She's
shut
on
the
the
door.
There's nothing like the player assuring the DM that something won't catch on fire.
She's on the
is not
stone
flammable.
ceiling, Tony. Come on.
is the ceiling stone now? Are you world building?
How would it not be?
It's wood paneled, friend. It's very nice.
Oh, crap.
Very nice.
Okay, so that is a 29 to hit.
All right, you wave your swords around in the air and
Like you
cut
just
at her.
don't
Yeah,
care.
so that is 9 radiant damage,
All right, how do they feel about radiant damage?
followed by 17 radiant damage.
I guess Spawn don't care that it's radiant or not,
Oh.
except that it deactivates the regeneration is the main thing. They don't take
That
it.
is important.
Imra, I should have asked. Was your bow and arrow magical?
No, I really need to get that if we ever get out of Barovia.
Can I offer you another magic axe instead?
What'd you get? Did you get some sort of bulk deal or?
Just
Look,
throw
I
one of
run the
them.
adventure. It's in the book, people. Don't blame me.
Yeah, Dan, you gave me one of those axes.
It's lost to the mists of time. Who could possibly remember?
Oh, those mists.
I forgot that I took over for somebody else, and it's all their fault. Lena, can you tell me about what that total radiant damage was?
So that would be 26 radiant damage.
All right. I will tell you that if this vampire is looking a little bloody, Samus, is Samus following Elevor's lead?
No.
Nope.
Samus is going to try to attack a ceiling spawn.
Cats can leap.
Yeah, cats can. I think it doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's,
I
like,
believe
beds in
Samus
the middle.
literally has.
Mhm.
Samus literally has like a leap attack, right? Or maybe I'm thinking of mauling.
just
Okay.
bite and claw.
Samus can get to this vampire.
All right.
I imagine that Samus is knocking over a variety of beds and furniture to do this.
Ooh, 20 to hit.
So Helga is like crawling around, spider climbing on the ceiling, as Samus is just like crashing through bed canopies, swiping at her. So I will say she'll only take half of that because Samus is not magical, but she'll take
All
some
right,
claw
5
damage.
damage.
All right. Does Samus get more than one attack?
No, just one attack.
All
No
right.
multi-attack.
Okay. Broldish, it's vampire fighting time. Your favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
Uh,
Pony just trampled her. It was very unfortunate.
Oops, I'm riding in on pony so that I can reach. And yeah, just attacking with my regular old sacred axe. In Hela's name, die, foul friendly creature.
Foul. Fair enough.
That was a 19 on the die, so
Yeah,
I'm guessing
hits.
that,
Roll some damage.
hits. So the damage is 10 slashing damage.
Non-magical, unless you're using one of your
Non-magical.
magic axes.
And then 21 to hit for the second attack. It is silvered if it makes a difference. And 7 points of slashing damage. Non-magical. Halo be praised!
Helga is extremely nonplussed by this, but it is Helga's turn. Helga is going
got in her face.
to drop from the ceiling, and she is going to lash out at Lena, the quiet adventurer who tried to murder her.
I'm
just
going to
for
use my
doing her
reaction to try to... hang on. I might not be close enough. Do I have to be 5 feet away from Lena? Yeah, I do, so I'm not close enough. Never mind.
All right.
Sorry.
Helga starts with a claw attack on you. 15 to hit.
No.
All right. She slices the air. You dodge out of the way. And then she is going to try and kind of grab at you and just lunge for your throat with her evil face full of fangs. I have rolled a slightly better 17.
No.
All right. I believe I have now triggered Elevor's
you have
things.
indeed. So
bonfire where she is.
the creature must make a dexterity saving throw of 16.
I rolled a 13 as Helga attempts to scamper out of the way. Fire consumes the area around her.
All right, that's 9 fire damage.
All right. Helga is looking not happy about how this situation is going, is eyeing the doorway, but it seems like there are many adventures between her and the doorway. Crucible?
Crucible will step in front of the doorway
Yep.
and look at Helga sadly, shake his head and say, "I'm very sorry, child." Put out a hand and zap Sacred Flame. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Helga, 21, jumps up and grabs onto one of the supports from the canopied bed.
You are not making this easier.
She is not. Imra, I believe we are back around to you.
All right, so she's still on the ceiling?
I think she is down from the ceiling at this point. She dropped down to attack Lena.
She's on a bed.
Yeah, she's on a bed. In between ceiling and floor, as we all like to live.
Okay. I did not move my token last time, but I was...
Sure.
I think we all assumed I was just in the room. Okay. So I'm gonna run over to her, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I think it's small enough.
Yeah, there's plenty of space. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna run over.
Little theater of the mind here. We don't have to worry about the exact dimensions of this room.
Okay. Run over to her. I'm gonna pull out the battle axe that I have commandeered from Bruldish. And I'm gonna take a swing. Make sure Androdite's in a corner where she can get out easily. All right. Yeah. That didn't work. That did not work. That was an 8 to hit. So, I probably
Do you get another attack?
tripped over the irregular floor. So I'm gonna just take another swing since I get 2 attacks per action.
That first one was like a wind up. That was like you were stretching.
Yeah. And on the follow through, I did so well at following through. I stumbled again. Because I got another 8 to hit.
You were just carrying a bow. It feels like there's a weight thing from going from a bow to an axe.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know how sports work, but it feels like that's a thing. Like if you were suddenly, Dan, we play Ultimate Frisbee. If we suddenly went from playing Ultimate Frisbee to bowling, we would be bad at bowling.
Oh, wait, you know what?
We're not great.
I didn't roll the right thing the second time.
Did you roll a
You
d12?
forgot to modifier.
I rolled a d10 and not a d20.
It is much better to use a d20.
Yeah.
That is professional Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
advice.
Good advice.
So how about we say that I actually did better, and that was a 19 to hit.
All right, that you keep spinning as you follow through and follow through and follow through, and then eventually your blade collides with Helga. Roll some damage. It will not be halved because it's a magic axe.
That's right, and that is a whole 6. A whole, not a half. 6 points of damage.
All right, I'd say one good hit will take Helga out, or several bad hits.
Bad hits.
Just follow my example; it'll be
All
fine.
our hits are bad hits.
Lena.
Let's see. Okay, that's a 15.
15 is the armor class of a unarmored vampire servant just working 9 to 5 that's 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. in Ravenloft.
To 5 a.m. to 10 radiant damage.
All right.
Followed by 23 radiant damage.
Followed by 23. Your blades cut through Helga, and she seems to kind of incinerate as if from some fire within. Several coins marked with Strahd's visage, as well as a fancy golden necklace that Helga was wearing, clatter to the ground amongst the ashy bones that are all that is left of Helga.
Can Lena catch the necklace?
Yes, you can.
So cool.
The necklace looks very fancy. I'm just going to tell you, street value 750 gold pieces.
Oh, that's very fancy.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
sorry. Is that like Barovian currency or like Water
real money.
Davian currency?
That's Water Davian currency.
Wow.
It's several centuries old, so it is a fancy work of art. Probably
vintage.
Did not seem like Helga was perhaps of that era. Vampire spawn, I think, tend to be relatively recently turned vampires, at least on the geological scale. But perhaps this was given to her by an older vampire, a deadlier vampire.
Or she stole it as she was cleaning.
Vampire. Yeah.
Does it have any sort of insignia on it, or is it mostly just ornamental and pretty?
I would say ornamental and pretty.
Okay.
So I will tell you, you have secured this strange room full of beds. This is probably the safest place you have found in all of Ravenloft so far, should you need a place to take a long rest. Obviously, safe is an extremely relative term when we are talking about Ravenloft, but in terms of it being a place with beds, a single door, no other ways that creatures could gain access to it, it is off of a secret passage as opposed to off of a main passageway. These are things that occur to you.
Actually, enough beds for all of us, which is probably the first time that's ever happened.
Even Pony gets a bed.
So I have no sense of how much time has passed. Like, are we tired? Like, does it feel like we've been here a day?
I don't think it does quite feel like that, but also I have no sense because in game time, it has been 100 years.
Yeah, I have
exactly.
I don't know. How are people doing? I'm not very low on hit points, and I still have most of my spell slots. So.
I have not been hit. I still
And
have all my hit
We
points.
haven't had a lot of combat.
Ravenloft is going to be a series of small skirmishes leading to probably, you could imagine, a big fight with you-know-who.
Who?
The horse.
Yes. Yeah.
The Wunder Horse. Do we? Does anybody
have?
Nobody has like arcane lock or something. We could like lock this door and come back to it later if we need to.
What I could do is Elevor could cast Enlarge on himself and sleep in front of the door. Or could cast Enlarge on the bed and make the bed gigantic. Like push it in front of the door, cast Enlarge, make it huge.
The bed's already pretty big.
I was thinking more if we needed to come back later, if there was a way to secure it. So
I thought you meant sleep now.
I was very interested in how that was going to solve my problem. Belvoir could become huge. I don't know what that does. Harder to get through hallways.
Crucible is concerned that some other vampire servant will come through and fill all of the pillows with pillowcases with snakes.
Or that somebody will find Helga's ashes. It's not really body
we
anymore.
We can sweep it up.
Yeah,
That's not that hard.
Sweep those under a bed.
Let's just kick her under the bed.
Normally Helga would have done this, but look what happened.
Look at what you are reduced to now. Who is the real monsters?
All right, well, we got a couple secret doors to look at.
Yeah, I would encourage you. It sounds like you might want to do some more exploring around this level of Ravenloft so far, of which you've only explored one area. I'm prepared to move you along at whatever speed you would like to. I know there's usually a lot of discussion about do you go north?
I think north would be good because we knew already on the floor above that north was closer to like an outside wall, and I like the idea of sort of starting at the outside and kind of working our way in.
Yep.
So you know there is
Puzzles.
off of this hallway, there is a secret passageway that I think is basically obvious from this side, because you're basically kind of in a kind of, I guess you're in a secret passageway. It didn't seem as secret upstairs, but you're in a back stairways here.
Yeah, we're in backstage Disney.
Yeah, you're backstage Disney. I almost know what that means. Brolders, can I assume that you want to open this secret door here?
If nobody's going to stop me.
All right.
Somebody stop.
Off I go.
All right, you poke your head north. There is the wall kind of opens into a dusty, cobwebbed hallway that runs east to west. It is choked with cobwebs and dust. Probably have exposed a little bit more than you could actually see. You can only see kind of a few feet at a time. It does not look like anyone has been this way in quite some time. To your east, you notice it looks like an access way to that same huge spiral staircase going up one of the main towers of Ravenloft that you've seen before. Unclear what heads off to the west, but again, it looks pretty abandoned and isolated.
I do have dark vision, so I would probably, I assume, be able to see that far.
I think basically the cobwebs are so dense.
They're really, I see.
They obstruct sight beyond a few feet.
Oh, my.
Yeah, very dense.
Do we
probably
want to set that on fire?
I know, that's what I was thinking. Is that would definitely be like, hey, here we are to anybody that's around the corner or on that staircase. But or maybe or Lena, do you want to just cut your way through with your fancy glowing sword? Like, I feel like that would take out spider webs just zoom 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 real easy. This is Broldish actually asking Lena.
I mean, do we hear anything?
Silent. As a grave.
I mean, I would, if you want me to, I'll go through.
Grave.
I'll go through with this other axe and just like spin it around and like collect all of the cobwebs as well as I can. Not the sacred axe. Totally the magic axe is the only one that's
spider cotton candy.
And it's like, wow, this magic axe works really well despite not being touched by Hela's grace. Yeah, I think let's try to like manually clear enough that we can kind of see the lay of the land, and then if it looks like it's just a long stone corridor, maybe we light it on fire.
I got Androdite is listening and got a 23.
As far as Androdite can tell, there's nothing living, moving, breathing, exhaling, giving off scents or sounds ahead. Seems pretty quiet.
So Androdite's not signaling that she hears anything, hears or smells anything.
I'll step out and use the the magic great axe to just like basically just holding it out in front of me and like spinning it around so that like the axe goes, whoosh, and just like,
windshield wipers. Yeah.
Except that it goes around and around, so it is more like cotton candy.
Got it. The cobwebs are easily knocked out of way. They are just, these are Halloween store style cobwebs. They're no giant spiders attack you for interfering with them.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna sort of like trudge down the hallway, spinning and spinning and spinning this giant, this great axe in front of me.
Crucible will go behind her, so just in case.
At the end of the hallway, there's like a little bit of a T intersection, but after a while, the spider webs have kind of given way, and you can see this just seems to be a particularly desolate, abandoned part of Ravenloft. But you can see just a little bit of you hear the sounds of rain and the cold, drafty air of the outside elements blowing through some arrow slits. As you can see, a variety of archers' posts that look down on the courtyard below. And in fact, if you went all the way to the edge and looked down, you would recognize that this faces out the front of Castle Ravenloft, where you approach the castle some number of hours ago.
I'll look around the corner toward the south.
Yeah.
Is it is that just a wall there?
Yeah, just a wall there.
Let's check for a secret door, though.
Yep.
Go for it.
I'll check for perception. How about that?
I'm gonna get Brildish is
25
On Pony again.
perception, Tony.
Nice.
You are studying Crucible. You do not see any
I know
any
stones,
secret
and
doors.
if I see
And
anything-
Crucible, given your
Yes,
your
there's
background in architecture, it seems likely that at one point there might have been guards stationed here to protect Castle Ravenloft. But that is not something the current management seems concerned with at all. There might be some like incredibly ancient arrows in the corner in a quiver that are just caked with dust and cobwebs and filth. No one has stood guard here for decades, centuries. Does not seem like anyone has even tread down this filthy, cluttered path in quite some time.
And the secret passage was not the only. We didn't go the other direction, but it looked like there was potentially another way to access this that way. Mainly, I'm just curious about how people got in here.
There is a you at the east end of the hallway.
Yes.
The spiral staircase.
Got it. Yep.
all right. Well, maybe we should just take a peek at the spiral staircase and just see if there's anything across the way.
Sure.
Gonna do that. So here we are. I'm sure I can look up and see the creepy giant crystal beating heart.
Yeah, it is far above you, but there is a giant crystal beating heart at the top of this huge, immense spiral staircase. Did I show you the art of the crystal heart before?
You did.
Yes,
You
it
did.
was haunting.
Yeah, just want to make sure. It's one of the main art pieces
Real
in
creepy.
Ravenloft. So you're down a level here, and you can see, this is your classic, there was no building code here. There is no railings for the spiral staircase that goes up and down. And this looks like basically, for those who were unaware of that secret passageway, this spiral staircase is what you would use to access this kind of guard post area that you're exploring here. From the spiral staircase, you could easily go up or down. You also know that there was, at the other end of the secret hallway that you found, a passageway leading south that would take you further around on the perhaps the main areas of this level of Ravenloft. But you now have a variety of ways if you wanted to go up or down in Ravenloft.
Well, we do know.
Go ahead, Dan.
I was just gonna say we do know now that most of the stuff we're looking for is probably in the basement.
That's true.
If I very carefully look down, how far down does the staircase go?
I think you are only one story up from the base of the tower. So I think it's maybe 20 feet down from where you are.
Okay, so this doesn't necessarily take us to like
The basement or below.
sub-levels. Yeah.
Sorry, I am flipping around to look at what does the base of that tower look like?
I'm leaving the edge, by the way. No, nothing pushes me in.
Yeah.
They lost their opportunity.
I'm gonna say it's very dark, so it is hard to tell.
Okay. Does anyone have a glow stick?
We could probably just cast light on
you
a
can cast
pebble.
light on one of your
Yeah.
one of your haunted coins.
I'm pretty sure
Um,
I have. I'm pretty sure I have Leia's cantrip.
I don't.
I do. You want me to cast
Um,
light on something and throw it down?
For
This
funsies.
does seem to be like a main thoroughfare for the castle.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer creeping around in the secret passage.
It only lasts an hour.
Okay,
I'm
so
not-
secret door.
Yeah.
Secret door.
Secret door.
I will tell you, it looks like you can see this, and I think the art is attempting to indicate this, Aline, but I was just trying to confirm by studying my different maps levels. This spiral staircase goes down to the main level of Ravenloft, where you entered, but it looks like you can see another set of stairs that might descend from there deeper
Okay.
into Ravenloft. So
I didn't
this
know if
is,
that was like a well. Or
yeah, I was
something
trying to.
weird.
I think it's basically like an out of focus, far away set of stairs because
Okay.
it's 25 feet down.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
this, if all you want to do is head down, that would be a way. Lena
Okay.
Delina scampers off to the other secret passageways. So many secret passageways. Again,
So
you are
there's
on
one.
the unsecret side of the secret passageway. I imagine that this one might be one of those ones where there's like a lamp that you pull and it the stone door rotates. So you are looking through at a very strange narrow passageway. This looks like it might have been some kind of like guard post. There's a set of double doors, two sets of double doors, I guess, if that's how double doors get counted, leading east and
Quadruple doors.
west below. And right in front of you, Lena, there is basically an ancient set of armor that you would have to slide by. It looks, also? And there's another one. There's kind of a partner to it on the far side of the chamber. It appears to be a not just a suit of armor, but you smell the similar smell of decay. A human skeleton clad in armor, just kind of stationed there.
Weirdly, I feel better about that.
Yeah, me too. Like, I've been in haunted houses in Barovia before, and the armor was not good. So, like, but it didn't have a skeleton in it when it attacked me, so this is all right.
Empty armor is scarier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Filled armor.
So I'm of two minds. One is that we kind of know that our quest log indicates we should be going down. On the other hand, I think that creeping around the disused parts of Ravenloft are kind of safer than creeping around the populated areas of Ravenloft. So it seems like the risk reward is less when we're like in a place that he doesn't go.
Also, just for right now, I kind of like the idea of, this is really pragmatic, but like, I like the idea of sticking close to the room and exploring basically until we get tired, and then coming back and taking a nap or whatever, and then going further afield.
That makes sense.
It kind of feels like a good idea to kind of stick close to a bedroom.
To the bed.
It's just good. It's just a good idea in general.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's how I live my life.
To not get too far away from my bed.
I am going to.
I think you just solved my anxiety.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to just back up on Pony, take just a run and just like plow over the armor just in case?
I was thinking that maybe I'd perceive the armor really hard first, but sure, yeah. Like Lena's eyes are like bulging out of her skull, but she only gets
that is what it looks like to really look at something.
Yeah, but like when she leans forward, her bang falls over one eye.
Yeah. Oh no, Lena. It does seem like there is a human skeleton or humanoid skeleton in filling out this armor. The armor is rusty and decrepit looking. It looks like this is like a thing that has been posed or placed here more than that this is like actually an animated undead servant of Strahd or anything like that.
We should.
You
try
have the feeling that like
though.
if you just I don't know. I'm not going to put thoughts inside Lena's head. In this situation would be curious to know what would happen if I just kind of shoved it.
Yeah, I think Lena's just going to be like, "Cool house, Strahd."
Yeah,
and then sort of push it over.
Oh man, Strahd, his dorm probably had like a Scarface poster.
She does want to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Does it reanimate?
No, it seems like it was kind of just delicately positioned in a way, like, and it's kind of top heavy. So you give it just the gentlest of nudges, and it collapses forward. And this skeleton was not in great condition. And the suit of armor, like, there's basically now a loud clattering, which kind of echoes back and forth through the empty halls here. But you are now looking at basically a suit of armor disassembled with bits of bones sticking out of it. It looks like somebody had perhaps used a little bit of like wire to like kind of connect the bones together as like a prop. But it is not animated or moving.
It is a haunted house, but it's like an actual like haunted house. House.
It's a gross house more than anything.
I like you guys killed the servant, and now you're just making messes left and right.
Yeah, Lena does look a little bit sheepish, but she's like, I just don't like suits of armor. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Would you like to
push, just nods.
Would you like to push further into the area, Lena?
I think she would.
Okay. I will.
So it seems like this is just like a little weird hallway that perhaps served as some kind of guard post when the castle was more in use by the living, or at least the more active vampire. So do you have a set of double doors to the east, set of double doors to the west? Pick a
Double
door.
door. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone
Uh,
had
I
to.
think
West?
I just needed that.
Yeah,
West or-
west, because
Okay.
we know the west is kind of close to the edge of the
Right.
castle.
This is like that maze technique where if you're going through a corn maze, if
Always
you
turn left.
Yep.
yeah, and follow.
I wanted to tell
the
you,
outer
Micah,
path.
that works in non-corn mazes too. It's just a general maze technique.
Do you find yourself in a lot of non-corn mazes, Tony?
Yeah.
Hedge mazes, labyrinths.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's
I
the difference
prefer
between a labyrinth and a maze?
I want to go to the parties you're
Minotaur?
going to, Tony.
No, one of them you have to find your way to the center, and one of them you have to find your way out.
Find your way out.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's in the center? The exit?
The Minotaur.
Tootsie
Yeah, the
Roll.
Minotaur.
Bad news.
Lena, are you? Lena, am I just revealing the next room, or are we doing some elaborate thing here?
she's leaning. She's
Wow.
like, she'll open the door if she doesn't hear anything.
All right. It is quiet. You look beyond. There is an immense, massive, looks like it was perhaps some kind of audience chamber beyond. I've exposed a large part of the map to you. You see twin sets of stairs heading down. This room is dusty and full of cobwebs. There's some dim light coming in from a big stained glass window that looks out on the courtyard.
Ooh.
The room is, got huge vaulted kind of cathedral type ceilings, but is kind of cold and echoey. You might expect that perhaps if this was in use by living creatures, there would be a variety of furniture, perhaps places for people to sit and meet here. But this room is empty of all that. The iron sconces around the walls are empty of torches. There's just cobwebs everywhere. In the kind of center of the room, toward the south side, there is basically a fancy chair on a slightly raised stone dais. It's got a high back. It's facing south away from you. There is
Towards a wall?
Towards a wall. There is a door, presumably leading to some other kind of passageway further south of here. But clearly this was the fancy set of doors you've used.
Oh man,
here.
is a Bond villain going to turn around in that chair suddenly and just be like, "Welcome, adventurers"?
It'll
I've
just
been
be a skeleton
expecting
of a
you."
Bond villain, though.
So you want to explore Strahd's mansion?
So you could explore the double doors to the east, or head
I wanna know
further
about
into
that
this
chair.
room.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
check out the chair.
And
Maybe
what's
could this
the-
chair give us GPS like that one chair did?
I wonder.
True.
Yeah, that's what all chairs do now, Micah. That's how I'm running.
Hey,
my
if they're
adventure.
fancy
It's
chairs,
I'm creating a
CPS.
world. I'm creating a world where all chairs are full of dreams. So.
Truly a
What's the
fantasy.
ornamentation on the stained glass? Is it purely decorative or?
There's, I don't know if this is kind of like recursive. There's kind of like an image of Castle Ravenloft up on a hill.
Wait,
I don't
can
know
we
if that
see
makes any
ourselves in the
No.
image looking out?
Oh,
No,
good
you'd be much
question.
too-
Very
you'd be much-
spooky.
Much too small.
So I'm gonna step into the room and I'm just gonna, as is my way, have my bow drawn and an arrow kind of loosely knocked as someone approaches the chair.
Yeah, someone not him.
Someone, not me.
Do you want me to go?
The Crucible will happily
Okay.
check out the chair. An
Okay.
interesting
Crucible, you
artifact.
approach the chair with some trepidation, because if somebody was sitting in the chair, it might not be visible to you approaching it from behind. You climb up onto the steps of the stone dais and reach out to look behind the chair, and no one is there. It is empty. It seems strange that it is facing away from kind of the main audience hall behind you.
Is there anything on the wall behind it, like that it's facing?
No.
Brill just comes to check
Like a
and see
TV? Is that where the TV is?
Does it seem like the chair?
Does it look like it would turn?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
The chair is not affixed to the dais, and it's just a big, heavy wooden chair.
So somebody has
So it's
dragged
certainly-
it into this position.
Brill just
yeah,
looks
I
over
mean,
at Crucible. Should we just turn it around? I feel like the feng shui is totally off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll. I don't know, perception, investigation. What are we saying?
Mm-hmm. Feel free.
Perception. Yes, one of those. 19 perception.
It seems, everything you know about architecture seems at odds with the functionality of the room, and you wonder if this is some kind of symbolic message that the
Lord is out.
Yeah,
I
the
feel like-
throne's chair is faces away from the place where people would come.
All right,
What's in
gotta
this
ask
with the
void
Lord.
back here?
Somebody wanna sit in the
what
chair,
is this
or-
big square? What is this big
I just want to turn
area
around.
that's the other way?
That's a good question.
I will tell you it. I'm just going to tell you because you asked Jane. You know from you theoretically could roll engineering, which is not a thing in 5th edition. There is a spiral staircase that goes from
Gotcha.
the floor above to the floor below without having an exit on this level of the map.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I wanna
you've seen
turn-
enough
I
of
wa-
what I to know.
I look at Crucible and I go, I think I just want to turn this chair around because this is really bothering me.
Elevor says, "Please do it."
All right.
Okay.
Well, Brildish can each take an arm and
Yeah.
Broldish
yeah,
is
around.
Crucible
Broldish.
each take his hand. It makes a horrible screeching noise. as
No,
you
we're lifting, we're
rotate-
lifting.
Oh, lift.
With your
Crucible,
knees,
are you
not with your
lifting with
back.
your back or with your
No,
knees?
no.
All
You
right.
can't pull a muscle. They
check.
can't pull a muscle. Doesn't matter.
You rotate the big heavy wooden chair back into place, perhaps the way it once was, looking out over the audience chamber.
All right,
You
I gotta
feel
ask,
a
anybody
little
wanna
bit
sit
better
in the
about
chair?
it.
I mean, you know who does, but I don't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it if somebody else wants to.
Lena wasn't bothered by the feng
Everyone
shui
in the
because
chair!
everything in Barovia is like arranged in a really eerie way. So she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's a different way to do your chair."
All those Barovian angles.
Oh, not facing a wall. How unique.
Go for it, Elevor.
Yeah, just to point out, there is no window on that wall. It is just a sad, empty wall.
All right.
Or is there a secret door?
Elevor is going to sit in the chair.
Elevor places his tuchus upon the shabby cushions of this ancient chair, and nothing happens.
Oh.
I thought,
checking
about having the cliffhanger to the episode there, but I did not.
He sort of like shakes back and forth to try and get more comfy to see if that does anything. Still nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
I got
You're
an 18 on
Really
perception.
sitting in it.
I'm checking this wall for secret doors.
Broldish, it is like you knew what was going on. There is a secret passageway here.
I point. Guys.
Oh,
We're
Elevor has to
still
look
on the chair,
behind,
guys.
sort of like over his shoulder, back behind the chair. Is like, I see.
That tracks.
That's
All right. Should we see what's behind this secret wall?
There's also
Yeah,
a
but
non-secret
should-
door.
No, we didn't do the secret door, right?
Blah, boring.
We have our priorities in line.
Yeah.
We didn't come here to look at obvious doors.
All right.
Nope.
You open the secret door here, and it opens to another cobweb-filled, ancient, desolate passageway here. You suspect that it leads to a similar set of guard posts with arrow loops looking out on the courtyard. But also at the other end, you notice a spiral staircase heading both up and down.
So is this just the outside wall then?
Yeah.
This is interior,
across the
so
way? Oh, okay.
it's not an exposed. Whereas on the level above, it was exposed battlements.
It's not a
that you can look over
parapet.
here.
But
Yeah.
it is the
Gotcha.
outside wall of the castle. Yes.
Yes,
That's what I meant,
So
yeah.
there are these little. If you see on the map, there are little divots. Those are your little arrow loops that look out.
Okay, fine.
There
So
are
we could
probably
use
not any
door.
rooms. You have basically at this point now gone from exterior wall to exterior wall, at least north to south
Yeah.
here.
So this is like a room that connects a lot of different places that we know about to places that we don't know about. So like we should take a moment to commit this to memory in case we need to run around Scooby-Doo style.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Is there sort of like a cartography
All right, I'm listening
thing?
at this door. And
All
I got
right.
an 18.
You're listening at that door, and you got an 18. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
the
tell you with an
boring
18
non-secret door.
I'm going to tell you at this boring non-secret door with an 18 on your perception, you hear it. Perhaps it sounded like kind of like somebody coughing.
You
Sorry,
guys, you guys,
I want to enunciate there. Coughing, not
Coughing.
Fan.
Mhm.
Yeah, coughing.
Very
You guys,
important
you
to
guys, you
clarify that with Lena.
Mhm.
I heard somebody going like this. I imitate it because I don't want to make any like confusion.
I, as Micah, am terrified of people coughing, but I don't know if the same applies for Elevor.
I feel like
Where this
vampires don't. I mean, as far as
That's-
I have
I don't.
experienced,
I
the
don't.
undead don't
I don't.
cough.
I don't. I mean, I don't think they do a lot of.
in my throat.
Like gross witches,
I mean-
maybe? Hags?
Wait, hang on. Vampires have to breathe, right? Because they have to intake air so that they have air to pass over their vocal cords to speak.
Yeah, that's only when
But
they're talking.
But
But they don't have to.
Yeah.
They don't have to
They
respirate.
choose to breathe,
When they
but they
want
don't have to.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's just kick the door down.
We are-
But
Different.
if
We are
they
get-
didn't
we are-
aspirate, if
we're
they
gonna get
didn't
mail about this
aspirate
now.
and circulate oxygen, I think all of the blood would turn like gross brown instead of
And
staying
it-
like nice and red. So they probably
mean-
do that.
Are we gonna start talking about how they digest blood? I mean,
It's probably pretty gross. It's like,
Yeah, there's
gotta
nothing
be
about-
real with everybody.
I'm gonna be real with people. Vampires are gross. they're
Well, if
they're
there's
corpses
coughing,
that won't stop.
if there's coughing, do we want to do a sneaky peek?
Yeah, I'm motioning Lena over.
Okay.
Just open this door
Roll.
sneakily.
That's a crit fail, but I still got a 14. So, Tony, do with it what you will.
All right. Lena is kind of trying to adjust the door and tumbles into the room beyond.
But looks cool.
But you managed to make it
And then
look like
lands
like
on her
a
feet.
commando roll.
Yeah.
So this room is packed with dusty scrolls and tomes. That's TOMES, not TOMBS. Lining the walls of the room. More scrolls and books and papers are cluttered all around the floor. There are 4 heavy wooden chests with locks up against one wall. In the center of the clutter, in traditional Dungeons & Dragons room description, they save the lead until the end. There's a huge black desk. A figure is crouched atop a tall stool, and he is working away endlessly at scrolls of paper. You notice that the figure appears to be an elderly man, and Lena, you notice that he is there is a kind of a manacle from his foot chaining him to the desk, and he looks at you and just says, "Whoa."
I feel like this is Elivor's friend.
Yeah.
For some reason, like it's like Elivor's gonna have a new friend.
I've
They
got a
went to
picture of him.
college together.
I've got a
Yeah,
picture of him, so
Elivor
I will
says-
share that one.
Way? And then it says, no way.
This is
so sad.
I've shared
I
the image of this
Briefly
character with
glanced
you.
at that and immediately thought his last name was Life Spice.
The spice of life. Who is this strange man manacled to a desk within Ravenloft, the domain of Strahd? Is he a loyal servant or a future friend? Will he help our adventures or hinder them, or just be an inconvenience? Will they murder him just like the last person they met?
Oh my
For
God.
answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.